In a place so quiet that even the wind hesitated before passing through, lived a young man who had learned one unusual thing very well. He learned distance, not distance between towns or people, but between himself and a small circular mark carved into an old wooden board nailed to a tree behind his house. The young man lived alone in a remote area where roads forgot to reach, and neighbors existed only as rumors. His days were simple: wake up, cook, clean, practice, sleep. And practice meant standing very still, eyes half-lidded, breathing steady, and sending a knife spinning through the air, not aggressively, not dramatically, just accurately. Thunk, bullseye. He never celebrated, never smiled wider. He simply walked forward, pulled the knife out, and stepped back again. Distance mattered. Money, however, also mattered. So one day, after watching someone struggle to vlog about daily routines, the young man did something revolutionary. He placed a phone on a rock. He pressed record. He stood far away, and he threw a knife. Thunk. That was the video. No music, no face reveal, no shouting. Title: Knife Throw Long Distance. He uploaded it, then went to cook rice. By evening, the video had more views than there were people in his entire region. By the end of the week, the comments looked like this: fake, edited, no way that's real, do it farther. So he did. Each video was the same: quiet, distant, precise, no explanation, no personality, just distance and accuracy. The algorithm loved mystery, and somewhere far away, people who wore badges did not. One morning the knock came. 3 knocks, firm, urban. He opened the door to find 3 people who looked deeply uncomfortable standing on dirt. One flashed an ID. Another whispered, "Is this the location?" The third stared at the tree behind the house. "You're being recruited," the first one said. "By who?" the young man asked. There was a pause. "Well, technically SBI, or CBI, or FBI," offered the third. They all nodded. "Whatever works," the first said. The young man blinked. "Is this about YouTube?" They didn't answer. Welcome to civilization. The facility was loud, bright, full of people who talked too much and listened too little. The young man stood out immediately, not because he was impressive, but because he wasn't trying to be. Everyone else bragged. He asked where to keep his shoes. Training began, and jealousy followed. Bullying professionally. It started small. "Hey, village boy, ever seen a gym before? Careful, he might throw a butter knife at us." Laughter. The young man smiled politely. "Thank you," he said. They laughed harder. When they hid his equipment, he waited patiently. When they mocked his silence, he assumed it was encouragement. When they called him names, he thought those were nicknames. He had lived around trees. Trees didn't mock. Trees just stood. So he stood too. The thing about innocence, what they didn't understand was this: he didn't lack awareness. He lacked context. No one had ever taught him what bullying looked like. So he thought it was friendship. The mission, the real test, came during a joint operation. Everything went wrong. The team was cornered. Sweat, panic, orders overlapping. Someone shouted, "We're out of options." The young man looked around, then calmly stepped forward. He picked up a knife, not dramatically, not angrily. Someone scoffed, "This isn't YouTube, rural hero." The young man tilted his head. "Is now not a good time?" No one answered. He threw. Silence. The knife traveled farther than anyone thought possible. It struck exactly where it needed to. The thread stopped. No explosion, no gore, just precision. The room froze. Someone whispered. That distance was impossible. The young man turned around, confused. Was that good? No one laughed. The realization. Later, during debriefing, the room was quieter than his home ever was. One of the men who bullied him cleared his throat.
"Wait,"
he said slowly.
You thought all that stuff we said was normal.
The young man frowned.
"Yes, is it not?"
Another voice, quieter now.
"We were insulting you."
"Oh," he said. He thought for a moment, then nodded.
"I see."
Aftermath. No one bullied him again. Not because they feared him, but because they finally understood him. Commanders praised him publicly. His YouTube channel skyrocketed after anonymous footage leaked. Offers poured in. He declined most of them. He returned home, final scene. The phone rested on the same old rock. The tree stood patiently. He pressed record. He stood far away. He threw. Bullseye. Before ending the video, he spoke for the first time. "Humans are strange," he said calmly, "but they pay better than YouTube ads." He stopped recording. The wind passed through. Distance remained. The end.